record it on the computer. I don't even know where it would go in the cloud, so we're just going to record to the computer, and I'm going to do a little share screen because I've got some slides for us today. All right. Can y'all see my screen? Sweet. Okay. Get this thing in presentation mode. Work with me. JK, I suck. There we go. Okay. All right. And I don't want to be on the last screen. Sorry, guys. Really just over here having my life together today. All right. So overcoming limiting beliefs. Let me move you guys here too. Why? Minimize. There we go. All right. So our limiting beliefs are constantly looking for a story to justify our fears and excuses. Over time, we have all collected these beliefs about ourselves and about life. And if we don't address the mindset behind the way that we work and behind the way that we live our lives and the way that we do business and the way that we view ourselves and our business, when we start getting those no's, we're going to hit a brick wall and fall on our face. All the training in the world doesn't matter if you don't address the limiting beliefs that you have, because we can subconsciously confirm our own story that we've created through our beliefs. So if you have created this narrative and this story in your life that you're not good enough, or that you're not as successful as somebody else, or that you'll never be a top coach, or you'll never have financial freedom, or any of those things, then our limiting beliefs are going to subconsciously cause us to basically self-sabotage ourselves to live into those beliefs. And what you seek in life, you'll find. Whether you realize it or not, you're going to reap what you sow, and you're going to find what you're seeking. And we put so much of ourselves into this business, and sometimes I think we let our limiting beliefs get in the way to the point where we sow the seeds in our business, but we walk away before we ever get an opportunity to reap the harvest. This business, just like losing weight or building muscle, does not happen overnight. It takes consistent effort, and it takes showing up for ourselves regularly and consistently before we get to reap that harvest. And we get to decide what story we're going to write for ourselves. We get to decide what narrative we're going to allow to play out in our minds. And this is a big part of why affirmations are so important. You have got to retrain your mind to see the potential in you instead of to see the things that limit you and hold you back. We could all take things that are a part of our story or a part of our journey and allow them to hold us back. You guys know that I was a coach before. You know that by most human standards, I essentially failed as a coach before, and I walked away from this and I came back to it. And I had to rewrite the narrative in my mind coming back into this, because I could have allowed that to be my story. I could have allowed that to define me and allow myself to think that my story is that I'm not good enough at this. I'm a failure. I'll never be a diamond. I'll never be a star diamond. I'll never reach my goals. I'll never help other women in this business. And if I had allowed that to be my narrative, we wouldn't be sitting here having this call tonight. So we get to decide what story we're going to write and what story we're going to tell ourselves. So the first, this kind of leads into the first limiting belief. The world needs who you were made to be, not who somebody else was made to be, not who Bonnie Engel was made to be, not who Ashley Molstad was made to be, not who Meg was made to be, who you were made to be. There is a purpose to your journey, and people are waiting for you. There are specific people who need your help, who need the story that you have to offer. And we get the opportunity to stop using our excuses and step into that potential and create that story for ourselves. So the first limiting belief is I'm not a good enough leader. How many times do we hear people say this? I'm not a good enough leader. But if you don't think you're a good enough leader, of course you're not going to be recruiting people to your team. You're going to be subconsciously sabotaging yourself and stepping in the way, because why would you, in good conscience, truly believe about yourself that you're not a good enough leader and then go recruit other women into this business with you? You cannot let your fear make you self-sabotage. So I want you guys to all write down these two questions. What is your definition of a good leader? You know, I think a lot of us think of a good leader as somebody who is caring, who's supportive, who's motivating and encouraging, somebody who shows up every single day, who works hard, who's tenacious, who's got grit and perseverance and passion. And when you think about all of those individual characteristics that we so often define a good leader as, and we look at ourselves, I think oftentimes we have a lot of those characteristics in ourselves, and a lot of them can be cultivated. So why are we then telling ourselves that we're not a good enough leader, when by our definition of a good leader, if we're showing up every single day and we're working hard and we care about the people on our team, well, that kind of makes you a good leader then by your own definition. So write out, what's your definition of a good leader, and what is your definition of success? Success is not just making 6 figures in this business. Success is not just hitting 15-star diamond or being an elite coach. There are so many different ways that we can be successful in this business and in life. And you have to change what you're saying and what you're doing. The idea of having to be being a good leader, we sometimes think of it as being this like Instagram celebrity, and look at people like Bonnie Engel who have like 60,000 Instagram followers, and you know, they're a top 10 elite coach and their team is just growing and crazy. And you know, that's not necessarily the definition of success. It's not how many Instagram followers you have. I don't think any of us would sit here at the end of the day and consider ourselves a good coach just because we got 50,000 new followers on Instagram. That's not what makes those women successful. It's the way that they run their business and the way that they're helping other women along the way. You know, one of the things that he talked about was that fear is rooted in emotion, and we can't fight bad emotion with good emotion. We have to fight it with logic. So when you're writing out these affirmations about yourself as a leader too, you need to write out not just what the affirmation is, not just that I'm going to be a star diamond coach, but why. I am going to be a star diamond coach because I show up for myself and my business every day, because I pour my heart and soul into the girls on this team, because I genuinely care about helping the girls on my team to reach their goals too, not just the goals that I've set for myself. That's why I'm going to be a star diamond. We have to tack the action onto the belief and change what we're saying and what we're doing. Let's see. If you can convince yourself that you have to help a certain number of people before you're actually a good leader, then you'll never actually step into your leadership potential that could have helped someone to eventually succeed. You have to lead based on your values, not based on what results you have or haven't had yet. All right, limiting belief number 2. I haven't had success yet, so how can I help someone else be successful? Again, this ties back into that nobody cares that you're not making 6 figures in this business. Making 6 figures as a coach is not necessarily what makes you successful. It goes back to that question of asking ourselves, what is my definition of success? Is my definition of success that I helped one woman pay for something extra this month, that I helped one woman take a step in their health and fitness journey this month? What does that look like? Because we're all just trying to get to the next step in our business. Nobody goes from being just a coach to a superstar diamond overnight. We're all just trying to get to the next step, and you don't have to be all the way to the top to help somebody else up that next step. You just need to be one step ahead of them. If you're a coach and you've signed up one person, you can help somebody else sign up somebody. If you're a coach and you're making and you're making 4 figures, somebody else wants to be making 3 figures. Somebody else wants to be making 2 figures. Nobody cares that you're not making $250,000 every single year. The only thing that you need to do to get to where you want to go is to help a couple people get to where you are now. So if you're an Emerald, help a couple other girls get to Emerald. You already know what it takes to become an Emerald coach. You already know what it takes to hit Success Club. You can help somebody else do that. And leadership is so much easier when we make it about genuinely helping people. And it isn't about getting to a place that you've never been before. It's about showing people the way to get to where you are now. So like when I'm sharing my journey on social media, I'm talking about where I'm at now in my business and encouraging other women that I can help them to get there. I can help them get to diamond. I can help them find belief in themselves. I can help them bring new ladies into this business. You just have to be able to show them the next step and get to that next step. And you can't help others get to where you are if 1, you aren't recruiting enough people, and 2, the people you recruit aren't doing anything you say. Only 20% of people are actually going to follow through on their commitments, and your recruiting level needs to match that. So if you sign up 10 people and all 10 of them are like, yes, I'm going to run with this business, only 20% of those people are actually going to follow through with running with this business. So your recruiting needs to match the fact that only 20% of your people are actually going to follow through on what they said they're going to do. You know, a lot of times people aren't willing to do what we've done for as long as we've done it to get to where we are now. And that doesn't make you unsuccessful as a leader. All right, limiting belief number 3. Why would anybody want to sign up with me? Why would anyone want to sign up with me when they could sign up with somebody better, when they could sign up with the Bonnies of the world and the Emily Favers of the world and the Ashley Molstads of the world? Why would anybody want to sign up with me? Rank can be both the best and the worst thing in this business, because internally we're using that to compare ourselves to these women, when from the outside looking in, nobody else has any clue what that rank means. Nobody has any concept of the fact that she's a superstar and you might just be an Emerald. But the point is, at the end of the day, different people belong on different teams. There are women who need your specific brand of coaching. There are women who need what you bring to the table, not what Ashley or Bonnie or Emily or anybody else brings to the table. There are people who need you, who need your story. People purchase based on emotional needs, not based on logic. We have to have an emotionally compelling reason for people to do this. And that means we are speaking to the people who we want to be a part of this with us. When we're talking about our past struggles and the things that we have overcome personally, we are speaking to the people that are going to relate to us. And there's a reason why those girls don't sign up with Ashley or Emily or whoever else they could sign up with, and they sign up with you because they are emotionally connected to you and to your story. Sorry, guys. We sometimes have this tendency to put ourselves in competition with these other leaders, but if you're tired of feeling competition with somebody else in this business, start being yourself for a change, because there is only one of you. You are not in competition with anybody else when you are living into who you were created to be, who God put you on this planet to be, the leader that he created you to be, the story that he gave you to share. If you're tired of feeling competition with somebody else, stop trying to step into their story and walk in yours. Sorry, I'm getting all kinds of fired up tonight. Okay, limiting belief number 4. My team's failure is my fault. Okay, y'all, let's just take a moment here. All of us either work a day job or have worked a day job. If you've been a manager somewhere or a team lead or anything like that, if there's a girl who constantly doesn't show up for work, you don't ever blame yourself for being a bad manager because that person doesn't show up to work. Like, you have to stop complaining about being a bad manager for somebody else's bad work ethic. If somebody's not showing up for work, you have permission to fire people. You get to choose who you're going to invest your time and your energy into. And I'm not saying to be ugly, like, everybody deserves your support, your love, your encouragement, who's a part of your team. But if they're not showing up for themselves, why are you blaming yourself for that when you would do that at your day job? And, you know, as Jess's coach, for example, I could sit here and be like, oh my God, Jess hit Success Club 34 this month, you guys. I am such an incredible leader. Like, can you even believe that she did that? I am just so proud of how I led her and coached her in that. Oh my God, absolutely not. There's not a single one of us who would take credit for the success of somebody else on our team. So if we are not willing to take success or to take credit for their success, how dare we take responsibility for their failures? We don't have to blame ourselves when somebody else isn't doing the work that's required to build this business, because we're not taking responsibility for their success. They have to choose that for themselves. People can only find what they are willing to seek. That does not make you a bad leader if somebody doesn't show up. It doesn't make you a bad leader if somebody doesn't hit Success Club. It doesn't make you a bad leader if somebody doesn't hit Emerald. You have to be willing as the leader to show them the way, but they have to be willing to take the steps it takes to get there. So this was something super powerful that I wanted us to end with. How many people are you letting down by playing small? Oh my God, you guys. Every single time I doubt myself or I start to question myself in this business, I think to myself, who am I failing by not showing up? What woman could have stepped into this business and made a living for her family? What woman could have found her confidence again through our programs and through reclaiming her health and fitness? What woman am I letting down by playing it small with my life, with my dreams, with my goals, with my vision, with my leadership, with this business? Who am I letting down by not showing up? Like, that hit me so hard, you guys. Josh was talking about, I would rather fail thousands of people while helping hundreds of thousands than to have never helped anyone at all and therefore have failed all of them. You guys, we have such an incredible opportunity as coaches. I know that every single woman who's sitting on this call has said to me or to our group how much this business has changed your life. If this business has changed your life, we have a moral and ethical obligation to share that with people. Like, if this is something that has truly blessed us, whether it be financially or in our health or with freedom, with confidence, whatever it may be, you guys, why would we not want to shout that from the rooftops? There are so many people who are desperate for what we have to offer. There are so many women who feel like they are struggling or they are trapped financially, who feel like they have lost the confidence that they once had, who look in the mirror and tear themselves apart every single day, who don't believe in themselves, who don't have an uplifting community who loves them and supports them. And we have the ability to offer that to people, you guys. Like, that is so freaking powerful to me. We have such an amazing opportunity, and we serve no one. We don't serve the other people in our lives, and we don't serve ourselves or our families by playing small with this business. I also look at some of the girls on this team, like Paige, who's paid off $40,000 in student loans. I look at Courtney, who's paid off her car early and fully funded her maternity leave and now gets to stay home part-time with her baby girl. I look at Meg, helping her family build their dream home as they just grow their little family. And I think about the freedoms and the blessings that I want to be able to give to my own family. And I don't want to let my husband and our future children down by playing small with my vision and with my goals for this business. And this is just such a powerful question, you guys. And I hope that you will take this question and the other two that I asked earlier and really marinate on them. Really ask yourself those things, because I know, like, when I got off that call with Josh and I was sitting there and, you know, listening to him talk about these things, I got so emotional just thinking about what we have to offer and about what a blessing this has been in my life. And like, you know, I shared about it again today. My husband and I got to go get massages for our anniversary. We went and had the most expensive dinner we've ever had together. And I don't say that to brag. I say that because there have been years where the only thing that we could afford was to split a $25 meal at Carrabba's. And there was a time where we took ourselves out for a nice dinner and we splurged on that. And I felt so guilty for paying for that. And my coach income in a single week fully paid for us to go get a couples massage and pay for that dinner and pay for us to spend the day and do all of the things that we did together. And that's so powerful, guys. Like, it's the little moments like that that make me realize how much this opportunity is changing my life and how much it's blessing me. And like, if that doesn't get you emotional and get you excited about what you can do for yourself, for your family, for other women, I don't even know what will. But I'm so fired up, and I'll open it up if anybody has questions or if you want to comment on anything, because I could go all night about this. It just gets me so hyped.